second stage in the compiler design is parser or parsing. Okay, the thing is here there we identified as syntax analysis. Syntax analysis. Okay, in the syntax analysis, parsing is one of the main activity. The main thing, the syntax analysis are also syntax analysis itself we are calling it as a parsing or parsers. We study in the various different types of parsers available. What is the meaning of parsing, and what are the different parsers, and we identify how each and every parser will work. In the parsing, the thing is here, parsing is an activity. What is the meaning of this parsing? First of all, or parser or parsing. First of all, we'll see what is the meaning of parsing. Uh, so parsing means going through from one stage to the other stage in identifying the language. In particularly, here the parsing is the activity of checking whether a string of symbols, is in the language of some grammar or not. That means in the formal language automata theory, in particularly we call it simply automata theory. In the automata theory, we identified the language is nothing but set of strings, and every string in the particular thing is nothing but having some meaning in the particular language. In the automata theory, we identified whether a given string is acceptable or not, maybe in terms of NFA or in terms of DFA, whatever it may be. The only thing is here we identified whether the string of symbols is in a given language or not. That whether it is in the given language or not, is identified by means of grammar. The grammar is specifying whether the given string is in the required language or not. That is the reason we are identifying the various types of languages, and simply based on the various types of languages, we are defining each every string in the language based on various types of grammars. We know the grammars, what are the link between each and every grammar. Okay, right. So based on the grammar, we are identifying whether the string is in the given language or not. That this string is nothing but generally stream of tokens produced by lexical analyzer. Whether this string, okay, or simply say a token is nothing but till a white space. String can contain tokens also. Here the complete string is representing maybe some statement. The statement can be if statement, while statement, for statement, or any statement. So a string is nothing but a stream of tokens produced by the lexical analyzer. A token is nothing but set of symbols. Okay, right. So if the string is in the grammar, we want a parse tree based on the. If you want to check whether the string is in a grammar, we want a parse tree. If it is not, we hope some kind of error is explained. Error message explained why not it is in the particular language. The thing is, if the grammar using the grammar, the string can be converted into using some grammar. If the given string or token converted into a tree called as parse tree, we say the particular string is in the language. We see what is the meaning of this parse tree. So parsing is the activity whether the string of symbols is in the language or not. Parsing is an activity. It is whether the given string is in the language or not by means of some grammar. That means if the string can be, or if the tokens or set of tokens can be converted into a tree structure called as parse tree, then we can say the string is in the given language, else it is not in the language. Okay, so parsing is nothing but an activity. Say parsing is an activity, okay, whether the given string or set of strings are in the given language by means of some language, by means of some language, okay, by means of some language. And this parsing activity, what it do, passing through the particular grammar and converting into a tree. If it is perfectly generates a tree structure, then we are identifying the particular string or strings are in the given language. Okay, right. So parser for any grammar is nothing but a program that takes input string W, whatever we are typing a statement in the program, okay, that is called as input string W, okay, obtained by a string of tokens from the lexical analyzer, string of tokens from the analyzer, and produces output either a parse tree for the particular string W, if the W is a valid statement of grammar, or it produces an error message. It produces an error message. Okay, so what it do, the parser is taking a valid set of strings, source string, and identifying whether the source string is valid or not. If it is valid, automatically it builds a tree used by the subsequent phase, that can be, the tree can be used by the subsequent phases of the compiler. If it is can't produce a valid tree, if it can't produce a valid tree, then it generates an error message. So the tree reflects sequence of derivations. The tree is reflects a sequence of derivations. What is the meaning of derivations? We'll see shortly. Okay, well, the tree reflects a sequence of derivations or reductions used during the parser using the given grammar. Okay, using the given grammar, it is called as the parse tree. If the string is invalid, it has to issue diagnostic messages or error messages, right? Every elementary subtree in the parse tree, that means every subtree in the parse tree corresponding to production of the grammar. Every subtree in the tree corresponding to production of grammar. We'll see what is the meaning of productions, okay, by saying some simple standard grammars, okay, right. Oh, the thing is here, there are two ways of identifying an error subtree. There are two ways of identifying the elementary subtree. That means for every subtree, it can be derived by a string from a non-terminal, by deriving from a non-terminal, by reducing the string of symbols to a non-terminal or terminals, or terminals, reduced as string of symbols to a non-terminal terminals. So here we are getting two more things. The elementary subtree is identified by a production, and we are identifying the production for deriving from a non-terminal or set of symbols to a non-terminal. Okay, right. Now we'll come to the grammar. In overall, this is the meaning of parsing. Okay, if the parsing is taking, it is taking input string into a parse tree using a grammar productions, okay, in the grammar using the productions, and finally we are deriving to terminals or non-terminals or set of input symbols to terminals, right. So here we identified we need a parser. Parsing is an activity converting the given string into the parse tree. That parse tree can be used subsequently. The parse tree can be used subsequently by the next phases. In the parser, we are using grammars. Okay. In the grammar, we are using the productions or other things, right? So we simply start with some a sample grammar, context set, for example, context-free grammar. Okay, right. So we start with the context-free grammar. What is the meaning of context-free grammar? The recursive structure of a programming language, recursive structure of the programming language, like The tree is containing the subtrees are nothing but a tree is made up of a recursive structure of subtrees. Similarly here also, because every subtree we identified with the meaning of production. We'll see what is the production, right? So we start with a grammar. What is the meaning of grammar? The grammar is identifying in what way we are going to write statements in a programming language. Every statement in the programming language is having set of rules. The set of rules is defined by grammar. The set of rules is defined by grammar. Now, simply we start with some such type of set of rules. At the outset, we simply will see context-free grammar. Okay, right. What is the meaning of this context-free grammar? Means a small set of rules, a basic set of rules. Okay, we identified regular grammar also. Regular, you people study regular grammar, context-free grammar, context-sensitive grammar, वगैरह वगैरह. Now we start with the context-free grammar. In the context-free grammar is nothing but we call it, maybe the grammar can be identified as the context free, that can be called as let it is G. Okay, let it is G. Grammar is G, capital G. Always we are defining a grammar with the capital G symbol. This context free grammar G is a four tuple. That means four tuple means it is having a tuple having four attributes. It is a tuple having four attributes. Four tuple means a tuple with four attributes. Let G is the context free grammar. The VTPS is four tuples of the grammar. VTPS. Okay, VTPS is the four attributes of the grammar. What is the meaning of this V is? V is a finite set of variables. V is a finite set of variables, or here we call it as non-terminals. Non-terminals. Be careful. Okay, this non-tuples, non-terminals always represented with capital letters. Capital letters. V is a finite set of variables or non-terminals. These non-terminals are describing set of related strings. These non-terminals describing set of related things or related strings. When you are saying it is a string, automatically it is having set of symbols. Okay, so every non-terminal is derived with using set of symbols. The set of symbols or even set of that set of symbols can be capital letters or small case letters also. What is the meaning of this small case letters? Let the T is the finite set of terminals. T is the finite set of terminals or set of tokens. That is nothing but this T set of terminals or terminal is represented with the small case letter, or simply, okay, the terminals which is represented with the small case letter is can't be divided further. Okay, atomic values. Atomic values are represented by terminals or small case letters or a token which can't divide further. A token which can't divide further. Okay, terminal is represented with small case letters. Non-terminals is with the capital case letters. That is the reason we are calling the related strings. A string can be made with more than one token. A string can be derived with more than one terminal. Okay, so string lo more than one terminal ఉండొచ్చు, tokens ఉండొచ్చు. Okay, whereas the set of token ante one small atomic value only, one small atomic value. It is small token. A token is nothing but a word separated by a white space with meanings, with meaning. ఓకే, ఎవరో మ్యూట్ చేసుకోవాలమ్మా, ఎవరిదో ఒకసారి చూసుకోండి. ఓకే, 5B2, B2, right. So the set of non-terminal is nothing but capital letter. It is nothing but a related string. A string can have more than one token, whereas T is nothing but set of terminals. Set of terminals. A terminal is nothing but represented a token represented by small case letter or atomic value or atomic value. So VT. V means non-terminal, T means terminal. Terminal, non-terminals are represented in the capital case letters. Terminals are represented with the small case letter. Then third thing is P. P means production rules. Production rules. A finite set of production rules in the form of A derives alpha. A derives alpha. Okay, be careful. Like in our DBMS normalization that rules. Okay, A derives alpha. Okay, so that means from the production that non-terminal A is deriving a set of symbols. The set of symbols are represented by alpha. Here the thing is A, where this A is an element of V, nothing but A is one of the non-terminal in the set of V, set of non-terminals. Okay, A in the production A is element of V. V is nothing but set of non-terminals. ఏదో ఒక నాన్ టెర్మినల్ ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది, వేర్ ఆల్ఫా ఈజ్ ఎలిమెంట్ ఆఫ్ set of terminals union set of non-terminals, set of non-terminals union set of terminals. The occurrence is 0 or more number of occurrences. Okay, so that what it means, alpha means any combination of set of terminals and non-terminals. Okay, 0 or more number of occurrences. 0 or more number of occurrences. If the 0 occurrences, we represent it by epsilon. Okay, okay, we call it as a null occurrence. Null occurrence, right? So a production is in the form of A derives alpha. A is one of the symbol in the non-terminals, where alpha means set of non-terminals and terminals. Occurrence is 0 or more number of occurrences. That means 0 or more occurrences of set of non-terminals and set of terminals. Right. We are having one more symbol called as in the 4 tuple S. S is nothing but start symbol. S is nothing but every derivation starts with the start symbol. Nothing but root of the parse tree. Nothing but root of the parse tree. It always starts with S, where S is element of V. S is an element of V. V is nothing but set of non-terminals. V is set of non-terminals. So we start with S and we are having the more number of production rules. The V means so the context-free grammar G is 4 tuple grammar. VTPS, V is set of non-terminals. Set of T means set of terminals. P means set of production rules. S is a start symbol. Okay, right. Here I given you a small context-free grammar where this E derives EAE is one production rule separated by all symbols, or we can study E derives EAE, E derives open bracket capital E closed bracket, or E derives minus E, or E derives ID. Okay, right. So these are the number of productions. How many productions here? One production, 1, 2, 3, 4 production rules. This is called as context-free grammar, right? So here the production rules A that means is deriving maybe derives the terminal symbols. The A derives the terminal symbols plus or minus or multiplication or division. Okay, right. Here E and A are non-terminals. E and A are non-terminals, whereas ID plus, because ID also in the small case letter, where ID plus multiplication minus division, open brace, close brace are terminal symbols. ఓకే. సో ప్రొడక్షన్ రూల్స్ లో క్యాపిటల్ లెటర్స్ ఏమైతే ఉంటాయో వాటిని టెర్మినల్స్ అంటాము. టెర్మినల్స్ ని మనం ఫర్దర్ గా డివైడ్ చేయగలము, వేరేస్ నాన్ టెర్మినల్స్ ని మనం డివైడ్ చేయలేము. నాన్ టెర్మినల్స్ ని మనం డివైడ్ చేయలేము. ఓకే. నాన్ టెర్మినల్స్ ఆర్ atomic values, where terminals are non-atomic values. Okay, right. I will conclude shortly with this particular things. Okay, so once again we'll see what is the conventions. Terminals are symbols from which strings are formed. Terminals are symbols from which terminals are formed. Okay, say for example, if అనేది ఒక టెర్మినల్ సింబల్ గా అనుకోవచ్చు, ఎల్స్ అనేది ఒక టెర్మినల్ సింబల్ గా అనుకోవచ్చు, వైల్ లైక్ వైల్, ఫర్, ఈ కీవర్డ్స్ ఏమైతే ఉన్నాయో ఆ కీవర్డ్స్ అన్ని కూడా వీ కెన్ సే including some other things also. All these things we can call it as a terminal symbols. Okay, right. uh, 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 okay, right. So terminals are always small case letters. It can be operator symbols, okay, or punctuation symbols, commas or parentheses, or digits, or bold face letters, like means ID, if, while, do, all those things. Okay, or terminals. Non-terminal ante that representation of entire if statement, entire if statement, entire while statement, entire for statement representation, we can treat it as non-terminal. We can treat it as non-terminal. Okay, so syntactic variable, this we can call it as syntactic variables, representing a set of strings. If, condition, else, statement, if condition, statement, else, statement, ఇవన్నీ ఏమున్నాయి అందులో సెట్ ఆఫ్ స్ట్రింగ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, సెట్ ఆఫ్ టోకెన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. అవన్నీ కలిపితే డినోట్స్ ఏ సెట్ ఆఫ్ స్ట్రింగ్స్. అవన్నీ కలిపితే వీఆర్ కాలింగ్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఏ నాన్ టెర్మినల్. వీఆర్ కాలింగ్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఏ నాన్ టెర్మినల్. Otherwise, if you are individually saying if, condition, else, statement 1, statement 2, individually those are terminals. So non-terminals are represented by capital letters. Okay, right. Similarly, that expression, statement, the statement contains so many things. Okay, all these together we are calling it as a statement. Okay, right. Similarly, the start symbol is also is a start of the productions is also a non-terminal. Right. A production is of the form left hand side derives right hand side. Production is of the form A derives all, capital A derives alpha. Okay, nothing but left hand side derives right hand side. Head derives body, where head contains only one non-terminal, and body contains a collection of terminals and non-terminals. Be careful in the context-free grammar. Okay, we call the left side LHS contains only one non-terminal, on right hand side are called as body of the particular rule, contains a collection of terminals and non-terminals. Okay, right. So a context-free grammar is looks like this, whereas the solutions, this is if it is the grammar, V is nothing but set of terminals. Whatever the capital things we identified is set of V. What is the small case letters or those things is nothing but set of terminals T, where start symbol S is equal to, here in the particular case, E. P is nothing but, all these things are called as the production rules. Okay, if this is the grammar, ఈ గ్రామర్ లో కనిపిస్తున్న క్యాపిటల్ కేస్ లెటర్స్ అన్ని we call it as V. క్యాపిటల్ లెటర్స్ కాకుండా కనిపిస్తున్నవన్నీ కూడా set of terminals, where S is start symbol is nothing but we identified E. Okay, and all these are nothing but set of productions. Okay, F is equal to open brace, E close brace, or F is equal to ID is production rules. Okay, right. So after this particular thing, tomorrow once again I will show you some of other things. Okay, the context free grammars vagera, slowly we go to the derivations, and slowly we go to the parsers. Okay, if you are having any doubt, okay, within this we are having maybe a couple of minutes, you give me your attendance. Okay, if you are not having any doubts in particularly this particular slide, seventh slide, which is showing in the blue color. Okay, this is a context free grammar. From this particular context free grammar, we identified VTPA